What is up, everybody? This is Tikwe, also known as Richard, and I want to show you guys why you should be playing Holy Roman Empire when you're playing team games. So, personally, I also think Holy Roman Empire Malians is probably one of the strongest team game compositions that you can get. We're going to go straight into the caster mode. Why can't I? It's actually not possible in team games. I didn't know this. That's interesting. Okay, so we're going to do the old school, old-fashioned way today, and we're going to focus on the Holy Roman Empire build because I think that's what you guys are probably going to be here for if you click on the thumbnail. And also, just a quick little one. Let's do a map reveal quickly, just to show you guys. I'm going to pause, just drop all these things out. So when you do this map, we actually need the map so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. At the back of the base, you have your sheep. You have usually a deer patch, some very generous berries, a deer patch right here. Sometimes when you're up in personal with the mountain, you can get a forward deer spawn, and you can see the berries to the back here. We have a backward deer spawn, forward berries. So what you want to focus on is where and who are you playing against. So in my case, I know I'm playing Holy Roman Empire. We're playing against the English, right? It gets the extra tower range, and we're playing against another Holy Roman Empire base. So if this was if this was who, who would you like to rush first? That would be the Holy Roman Empire because they don't get the same attack. You can see it's only 8 bow damage plus 10 versus ship. And on the English, they get 8 bow damage times 2. So that's double the damage. You're going to take double the damage. It's more riskier attacking the English player. And another thing you want to scout out, you can see here a perfect safe deer spawn. I wonder if you could have gone sneak through here. That would have been interesting. But yeah, very safe deer spawn, usually against the mountain. If you get it on the open side here, I would recommend bring your sheeps in, take this before you take your sheep. Just very clever way to do it. But what I want to show you guys firstly is quickly where these sheeps are located. So when you come out of your base, generally right on these corners where you have the little split, you can see this one actually doesn't have a split in the mountain. It actually got a solid spawn. That was very interesting. You get them kind of on the split, and then you can see more towards the sacred side. So what I usually do is I run straight up from my base, and maybe like 2/3 of the map you do a little cut across, and you can see if you did that, basically these sheep, this um, probably this one right here, that one right there. That is what, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sheep. Cut back 8 sheep, and then you come back and pick up these 3, and you can do a little loop to loop. Run all the way down to the side here. There's 3 more that you'll pick up there at the back, and if you get lucky and the enemy didn't go all the way to the back, you'll get the sheep right here. So that puts you on about 13 sheep if they come with a forward scouting route through here. Because you're not running through and back, that in my opinion is the best way. Very often, your town center will be on the side here. They wouldn't like passing through the side here. So that's going to be your best way to gather the sheep. Getting on with it. Sorry, let's focus on the build order. Let's put a bit of speed on this. So immediately going for the sheep and for the first drop off, and I'm just killing the extra sheep with a villager before all of them move over to that. And I have some extra villagers on the wood line. I think I did 4 on the wood line, and the reason being for that is I want to transition into the deer, into the gold, and also have that opportunity to protect. If you're playing against the Mongols, you're playing against Chinese, you want to have some form of protection that can go out. And you can see 126 wood. That allows me to, still a single villager just chopping away at the wood. You never want to really 100% stop the wood production, but you'll get some extra food with the deer patch here. But you can see we are supervising the gold just to get that insane gold production coming in now, and we have the wood or the deer actually being gathered. Um, so that's just gonna make your life a lot easier. Let's just see where that scout of ours is. He's running around the back here. And we're sitting on a comfortable 9 sheep, which is not bad. But because we're taking the deer patch and we're not worrying too much about under the town center, this is quite safe. This is very safe, and a lot of early food production. You can see that if you got the macro just right. I have the wood just so we can do a mill mining camp. I actually used a gold villager to build a house, but we're very much in a perfect timing window. If you can see, they're about halfway up, they're about a quarter way up, and we're dropping our um, landmark. With this build, you don't really need to worry about rushing the landmark. You can see I still haven't put it down, even though I'm way over the macro. Reason being for that, I am a noob. I am a middle plat player. I'm nothing like Beastly Cutie and some of the big guys out there. I think this is definitely the better, you know, part of the lower tier. We'll try and push that Diamond League sometime soon in the near future, but I think this is pretty decent. So I'm keeping some villagers on wood, and the reason why is what often happens in this situation at this timing window, you'll find some archers being produced, very much idle villagers right here. It's also going for the mines work as well, but you know, no deer, no wood, very normal Malian playstyle. He's going for the Manta Quarry, some wood. He still hasn't put the gold vein down, so you can see it's not the highest tier game. But the thing I want to focus on is this is very gold platinum oriented. You're gonna get rushed. You're gonna get people that are gonna be a nuisance for you. But if you are playing gold league, or even if you are playing platinum, and you're playing team games, this is why I think you should play the Holy Roman Empire. Like, we are not rushing this up right now, right? You can see, you know, English is probably trying to go for a castle age right here with the food, but you are going to outproduce him. And you can see now I dropped the sheep off on this on the mill here, and you can get tower rush, you can get French knights that's going to rush you, but because we have the extra wood, we could have dropped the barracks down immediately, get some spears out, and that's quite safe. You know, if you have a 6-minute age up, it's not a problem. Now we're going into the iron undermesh first, and remember these upgrades are cheaper, and I think they're quicker, right? Let's just have a look. Yeah, 40% cheaper and 40% quicker. So that's not a problem even if your landmark is late, because that's not the focus right here. So you're going to slowly start producing units with your barracks. And the reason why I'm thinking the barracks is better having that instead of just a Burgrave is because you can print your units and get your upgrades at the same time. Often when you are making units, you shift and queue the units, and you can see, you know, right now we are sitting on 10 on gold, 15 on food, and both of them are inspired. There's a prelate. Just give you a hint, the prelate came out after I moved over to the deer patch. So we started with the sheep, we killed both sheep, I got 2 villagers on the wood line, and when we had the split and I went to the gold and to the food, if you get lucky, both of them are close, but best case scenario is you have 1 on the gold, 1 on the food, and you know, just keep that production going. That's a lot better in my opinion, because you get the discount of the Mineswork Palace, you get the inspiration, double inspiration here, and you get the castle age up. And if we look at the resources, English is very much possible going up, teal very much possible going up into castle age, and we are just planning on taking this into a very hyper, you know, effective. You can see 40 villagers there, 32 villagers for him, 33, actually 29. I have 4 military, so I'm very much behind on villagers. 29 there as well, but the focus here is not that. It's just getting your units out and going with as an effective army as possible with that first rush and that first attack. It's a bit of a timing window push, but in team games you'll often find it's a little bit less aggressive and more calculated and coordinated attacks. So because of that, you know, this will give you a very high defense and cheaper upgrades, which means your lower unit count will still count a lot more because they're going to be upgraded. So we finished the undermesh, we finished the decarbonization, which was the second upgrade. We got the siege engineering. Now we are going for military academy, which is the key to all of this working. And now your units are producing 33% faster, right? And it's a cheaper cost to get this upgrade. Usually this is very expensive. And then we're going to wedged rivets. So the reason for that, also on the barracks, we got this upgrade right here, which is called, if we go to the barracks, that is called two-handed weapons, and we're not getting the heavy maces right away, because if you're going to get going against the French or something like that, yes, that is important, but all we want is that extra damage. And you'll see we have a spearman on two, and the most key thing in your army, have a balanced army. We have some landcannons filled in here, because we're going to go against the men-at-arms army on his side. Okay, he has some archers. Good job on the archers as Holy Roman Empire. That's not what we expect. And he's also in the castle age, going for some relics. But I mean, this is a big army. We have 15 men at arms, 5 land connects. That's a big army. And we see our enemy, our ally here, pushing up with the hardened Donzos. He's going to get attacked at some point. And we know the castle age just came through for our ally. And we know the castle age came through for our enemies, because you can see everybody is now age 3. And now all we are doing is we are running these units in upgraded and going for villager kills. You do not need to worry about going very, very heavy into fighting. You want to upset the economy. That's the goal here. So now 15, 21 idle villagers right here. That means you're already having an economy lead. Remember, our economy is still booming, still making units in the back. And I'm just sieging this down. So you can see there is taking full attacks from the town center with 15 villagers inside. And it takes 9 to 10 volleys. With this amount of army, this is amazing. And then what you want to do here, let's just slow it down and make it clean for you guys. I am divide and conquering, so I am forcing the enemy to focus on more than one thing. So we are killing villagers here, we send villagers, these are almost 100% idle, because we've obviously had these villagers killed right here. We have 10 villagers idle right here, buildings that had to be cancelled, units that were killed, right? And I'm sending only 2 or 3 units into different directions. Remember, if you're playing against higher teams, they'll obviously have some training units up, but what is going to count in your favor is archers are going to do nothing against you. If they have mass men at arms or knights, you are going to have the extra heavy attack from the blunt weapons, and because you have the land cannons, you are just going to shred through those enemies. So definitely better to focus on this. And now I see, okay, cool, nothing else of threat here. I am pulling the whole army back this way, and I am sending some units over to the secondary team just to force him to focus on attacking me, not to create a big mess, so we don't run behind on a counter attack from the enemy here. Because remember, in the castle age they actually get that extra armor, so they have the +2, but there's an upgrade for the English specifically. Let's just have a quick look at that. At the barracks, they have this armored clad, which gives them extra 2 armor. So just take that into consideration. But because you do the extra 6 damage with your heavy maces, you will be able to take a fight of equal numbers against them. But this is good. So he's not attacking us. He's trying to help his ally, because that's the bigger threat than what's happening in his base. And you'll see we'll just keep on taking out villagers. Just send units in all directions. Focus on disrupting the economy. Most people will probably tap out around this time. This was a misplay on my side. We chased down this, what do you call it, prelate over here, and now you can see, look at this damage. It's 12 damage times 3. You're not going to siege this down the same way you did right here. And especially against Holy Roman Empire, they don't have much to answer. So I don't want to lose too many units. We still have some economy disruption happening at the back here. We ran our units back, get a nice little surround happening, and just go for a proper kill on these men-at-arms from the English player, which are upgraded, so it is counts towards something. Now Holy Roman Empire getting some crossbows out, which is a counter for these heavy units. They are going to do quite a hefty amount of damage, and all we are doing is just sacrificing this army. Let's just focus on the build again. I'm not even producing villagers. I stopped quite a bit. 41 economy. We moved down while this fight was happening over here. So just a quick tip that I like to do. Town center, that would keybind 2. My scout that died over here, that's keybind 1. Any army that I create, like I'm sending in this way, that's keybind 4. And if I'm busy with an army here, that would be keybind 3, right? So 3, army 4, back to my base, that's 2. And any military buildings on my keyboard, I think it's the same for you guys. F1 selects all your military production. that I usually bind to 7. So 7 is my production, and I can tab barracks or burger. If you press F4, that's usually your landmarks. If you need to get to the Mines Palace, check if your upgrades are done. And so I'm just training up units so I can be, busy with my units right here. Press 7, still click train up units, and just keep attacking with my units. So that's how I jump around between my different units. I send my gold villagers to my next safest gold. Most of the time you'll have a rear gold spawn. Mine actually spawned to the right and forward here. Still inspired by the Predator over here, and I moved to my second gear patch here at the back. And after that, I am moving over to berries. You could have taken this berries as well, but I hate playing forward. I like playing backwards. That's just a safer bet for me. Remember, it's not always going to work like this, but I think it's a very effective way of playing. So you can see this army just focusing on getting some rams, and I'm sending a secondary army into this camp of the army that we just took out here, because we want to keep upsetting his economy. We don't want to give him time to breathe. And now we are sending these rams in, because that's a big threat for this guy, because he has to commit to either dealing with the threat, and he already lost his men at arms, or he is going to get nuked as well, and it's hard just to surrender. So he gets the first ram, nice little good feeling. We're going to pull the ram away. I clicked the first time, didn't go through, but now we're just going to get some land connect. Ooh, that land connect doing so much damage on these villagers, and he can only garrison 15 villagers. So we are just sending these units in, sacrificing the units, while our economy is still booming at the back. I had about, I think it was 12 villagers on wood. So it's basically a 30% split on your villagers, because you have the predator inspiring the wood, the food and the gold. You don't need to worry about having so many villagers, but you can see how quickly we're training up units again because of the bird grade, and just focusing on economy disruption. That's what's winning the game. Not the fact that you're winning the fights, it's winning the economy upset. So you can see now, I just ran the men at arms here to the back, and we are still focusing on just disrupting as far as we can. And now it's called the death push. So with the extra wood we had, we didn't commit to like 15 rams, just enough to pull villagers, pull units, pull resources on their side, so you can actually, do a kill. And again, very balanced army, men at arms plus land units. Is not going to do horsemen, it's not going to do knights, they're not going to do anything to you. If you feel the army comp is more focused on military, then you can go for the insulated helms, and instead of going for the men at arms, you play into your knights, and you go for your knight spearman composition, because knights can deal with archers, and with your spearman is going to deal with any spearman. Or sorry, the knights can deal with any archers, and if they do go archers, you just do a man now. Just say, but you can do that, and this upgrade is quite new. It's called the steel barding, so your knights do have that extra armor, so you get insane amount of melee armor, which is a nice little counter. But your men at arms are going to win those fights against the knights, especially with the land connects in between there. So all I'm doing now, if we slow this down, I am pulling my units forward, because we have scouted out earlier with the fight the Springnotes. So we know he's going to try and get shots off on these counterweight trebuchets. So we're going to send these units in, make sure if he retreats with these Springnotes, keeping our army split. And just, you can see, sending them forward, getting a backup at the back, and now we are actually rallied all the way forward onto our trebuchets, just to get the units to protect our siege, while we are literally just running and causing a bit more harm. Focusing on the siege, and you can see I don't care that I'm losing these few units. I'm sending more units back to his economy to disrupt the economy again. And those units are taking all the fire, and we are getting some free shots off on this white tower, which is the biggest threat of taking this base. And because of what we killed earlier here on the town hall, second town hall, all the villager kills we got, that is very much working in our favor, and we're just running units in underneath the town center because we want to get the villager kills and force him to have more actions that he needs to focus on. At the same time, the Malian was able to produce over 50 military, so any army that's going to challenge this, that's huge compared to what's happening on our side. He's still on very, very comfortable economy, even able to go imperial if he wants to. So all we are doing is applying all the pressure to both sides very, very effectively, while at the same time giving our ally time to play exactly the game that they want. And that's why I think Holy Roman Empire should be played in team games. Let me know what you guys think of that. Let me know what you guys think of the build order in that regard. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Hope you have a good one.